We saw in the last discussion that market forces, or by the way, these are sometimes called market drivers. Market forces really are forces. They have a direction and a magnitude. In the context of market research, there's statistical tendencies. What's a market barrier? Well, if the springs in the mattress helped us understand a market force, the bed itself, helps us understand what a barrier is. A barrier is something that stops us from getting where we want to go, so we have to figure out how to overcome it so we can get to where we're trying to get to. What's an example of a market barrier? Let's look in the medical field. There's increasing interest in something called electronic health records. These are your patient records that are going to be digitized. They're going to be stored so you can access them from anywhere. Carry them with you on a little smart card. Plug results, your x-rays, your doctor's notes into them so you can get better care. What was a barrier to electronic health records? Well, one barrier was the lack of computing infrastructure. Low-cost computing is relatively new. Ubiquitous computing is relatively new. It's only in the past 10, 15 years that everybody's got computers. Another barrier is the lack of skills to work with it. In a sense, we have a different generation of docs out there than we used to. The old guys have all retired. Now we got guys and women both, and they're all computer literate, so they're not freaked out by storing things on electronic records. We've solved some aspects of the security problem, so on and so forth. Those are all barriers that otherwise would eliminate a customer segment for certain types of computing applications called electronic health records. What's the difference between a force and a barrier? Let's take regulations as an example. Here's a little musical instrument. A regulation's like that. You hear that beat? It's a fact. The regulation either is or is not. Hear the difference in how loud it is? That's force. Regulations are facts, so they're a barrier. Whether we worry about the barrier, how significant it is, however, depends on how stringently it's enforced. That's a market force. The stringency of enforcement is a statistical tendency. That's the difference between barriers and forces. We use forces, market forces, to provide us leverage to get over barriers. Talk to you soon.